Hello, I'm Sherry Truler with Red Apple Auctions. Thank you for joining me. Today we're going to spend a little bit of time talking about sound systems and why silence doesn't sell. Your charity auction really does need to have a sound system. Now, if you grew up in the era that I did, you remember this old Cody commercial that was, if you want to capture someone's attention, whisper. And that might work great if you're trying to attract a lover. But if you're trying to run a benefit auction, that doesn't work. You need to make sure people can hear. That means loud. So because of that, let's make sure that we've got a sound system that's going to be capable of supporting an auction. And very often that is not the same system that a band is using. A band is looking to blend the sounds. If you think about going to a concert, how often would you be able to hear a song for the first time and understand the lyrics? Very often you can't understand the lyrics. It's not clear. It's not distinct. That's fine if you're just listening to a concert. If you're trying to decide whether or not to bid on an item for $3,000, you want to know what that auctioneer is saying. Clarity and distinction becomes important. Not so important for the band, which is trying to blend the sounds to make it sound attractive as a whole, but when you're trying to bid, the bidders want to know what the numbers are. They won't raise their hand if they can't understand. So that's the big difference there between band systems and other systems. So let's go through some common questions that I get with regards to this topic. First, where should we put the sound system? The short answer is anywhere you want to sell something. So I included a photo here that you can see. Look at all the speakers here in this silent auction. 1, 2, 3, 4, just down the hall there, because we're going to be selling raffle tickets. We're talking about items in the silent auction. We're closing the silent auction. Lots of things going on that we're going to be trying to do before we get to the live auction. So yeah, the live auction needs a sound system, but anywhere else you're going to be trying to sell something, you need to have sound. Another question, can the auctioneer just shout? No, you can't. Ask the auctioneer to do that. He's got another auction to do the next day, and the next day, and the next day. His voice is his business, so therefore he's not going to ruin it on your one auction. Now, I included a photo here that has nothing to do with that particular question, but I wanted to show you that if you're doing some sort of an event that's very elegant, or you want to have everything themed together, there are companies out there who will invest in specific types of speakers that look attractive or will fit into a certain decor. So here is one right here that this gentleman works in the Washington, D.C. museums a lot, and he uses these speakers because, as you can see, they fit in with the architecture of Washington, D.C. A lot of these museums, marble museums, nice columns. So that fits in very attractively. You might want to talk to an AV company if you've got a specific desire to have the speakers fit in with the particular theme. Another common question is, we've got a DJ, can we use his sound system? Well, maybe. You know, I found for groups 200 and under, it usually works okay. Here's one that I did. It was about 220 people. You can see he had quite a bit of rigging here. This was for a disco type feel. He had smoke coming out at one point. They had the disco ball, the whole 9 yards. And in that case, the speaker system worked. So I think it just depends on size, and that's been a number that seems to work pretty well in our area. Another question, do you, the auctioneer, have a sound system we can use? You know, maybe. It's a good question to ask, because some auctioneers would be very likely to rent you their sound system and set it up and be responsible for it in exchange for rent that is probably less than an AV company might charge. So depending on what you've got going on with your program that night, and you're just pretty much doing an auction, then maybe that's a good route for you to go. I wanted to show you a photo, though, of a very elaborate sound system that one AV company had. You see this? They had a lot going on that night. They're not just... as an auctioneer, I wouldn't have wanted to just bring in a sound system and be responsible for all the entertainment that was taking place that night, be responsible for me, be responsible for the AV, all of that. No, I'm not going to do all of that. But in some cases, depending on your situation, that might work, and it's a valid question to ask. Another question is, will the auctioneer specify certain brands that we have to use? Probably not. Probably not. I mean, sure, I see this brand quite a bit, SHURE, with some of the companies that we work with here in DC. But I'm not going to get into that level of detail, because I figure that if you're hiring a professional AV company, they're going to know what's needed. Do I speak to sound companies and talk to them about what my preferences are? Yeah, but I'm not going to the level of specifying specific brands. Now, for other information, head on over to the website at redappleauctions.com. You can get a free gift, which is my item guide. The top 100 items I sold for overvalue last year is included in that. You're going to love it. It's great for procurement. I'm Sherry with Red Apple Auctions. Thank you so much for watching. Good luck to you in your next charity auction.